Are you a founder or an entrepreneur who finds yourself second guessing every decision you make? Are you noticing that you're consuming more information than ever? I mean, you've watched the videos, you've read the books, you've joined communities, you've asked coaches, asked AI, and somehow you still can't make the decision, send the offer, launch the product, or move your business forward. And maybe that's because you're not dealing with an information problem at all. What you've likely developed as a result of all of this consumption without action is a self trust problem because you have little evidence to confide in. And that creates that lack of confidence. So, by the end of this video, I'm going to help you identify where you've been outsourcing your agency, make one decision for yourself, and take action that brings a confidence and helps you to start rebuilding your confidence within the next 24 hours. So let's talk about what the real problem is and understand that I'm not talking from theory. I know this personally because I had to admit that I had done it myself. AI had started as a thought partner for me. It helped me to organize ideas, challenge my thinking, and see some possibilities that I may have missed. But little by little, something started to change. Instead of using AI to sharpen my decisions, I started using it to make my decisions. First, I'd have an instinct, then I'd ask AI about it. Sometimes I'd get an answer, then I'd go and ask another AI, and then I would compare the answers. Then, instead of moving, I'd ask AI for a better framework. Then I would ask for a plan to execute said framework. And by the time I had all the information, I had no energy left to act. So the tool didn't really steal my agency. I willingly handed it over. And every time I refused to make a decision without outside validation, I sent myself a message that said, I don't trust you. And you know why that's so dangerous for a founder? Because your business cannot grow beyond your ability to make decisions. And you have a lot of decisions to make in your business: who you serve, what you sell, what you charge, who belongs on your team, what opportunities you pursue, what boundaries are you setting? And more importantly, what are you willing to stop doing? Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not against AI. It can actually help to support those decisions. And having a coach can help clarify those decisions. Being in a community can help clarify those decisions. But none of them can take responsibility for your life or business. Eventually, you're going to have to choose. So, I want to talk to you about the self trust cycle because self trust is not something you either have or you don't have. It's built through evidence. So, here's the cycle that most stuck founders are falling into. They face a decision, they feel the uncertainty, and so they go and seek more information. Then that information ends up creating more options, and then those options create more uncertainty. And as a result, you delay the decision. And then you judge yourself for delaying it. And that shame that you feel, it actually lowers your confidence. So the next time a decision appears, you trust yourself even less. And so clearly, more information is not going to break that cycle. Only action will. And because self-esteem comes from doing estimable things, you're going to begin trusting yourself again when you make a promise to yourself and you keep it. So I want to talk to you about something we do inside the Greater University called the agency reset. It's just 3 steps. And step 3 is the one that really challenges people, but it yields the greatest results. So step 1, we're going to name the decision. You ask yourself, what decision have I been avoiding? And you don't choose your entire 5-year business strategy, just one decision. Maybe it's sending the offer or publishing the video, following up with that lead that you got at that last networking event, setting a boundary with a client, choosing the price, applying for that opportunity, finishing your landing page. Write down that decision clearly. Don't make it some vague, I need to improve my business. Make it so specific that your brain helps you to reach it. Something like, I need to decide which of these 3 prospects I'm sending this $1,000 offer to. Because a vague problem creates vague action, but a specific decision creates movement. Which brings us to step 2. We're going to remove the audience. So now you would ask yourself, What would I choose if I could not ask anyone else first? Not your followers, your spouse, your cousin, your coach, ChatGPT, your neighbor, Claude, but what do you already know? Now, this doesn't mean ignoring wisdom or refusing support. What it means is hearing your own voice before adding everyone else's voice into the room. Make one independent decision before seeking outside input. You can always refine it later, but the first answer needs to come from you. And so now for step 3, which I mentioned, create evidence within 24 hours. So this question is, what is the smallest physical action that proves I made the decision? Oh, it's down there. Yeah. Okay. uh, what is the smallest decision that proves that I made, or the smallest physical action that proves I made a decision? Don't get another plan together, brainstorm uh, 1,000 ideas or another document describing what you will eventually do, but we know you won't. Uh, an action in the real world that gives your ideas some exposure so that you can hurry up and get some feedback that you can actually improve and iterate on. So send the message, post the offer, call the person, create the checkout link, record the first 3 minutes of your video, put the meeting on the calendar. That action should be small enough to complete within 24 hours, but real enough so that you can't pretend nothing changed, because confidence rarely shows up before action. It's actually a receipt that you get after you take action. But why do struggling founders why do founders struggle? That is a mouthful. Why do founders struggle to do this alone? That is the question that's been plaguing me, because I deal with it, but I also know other people that deal with it. And it's not that hard. It's actually simple, but simple doesn't mean easy. I mean, one of the most difficult things you can do is keep it simple. I think it gets difficult because isolation distorts reality. When you're building alone, every decision feels heavier because there's no safe place to test your thinking. And social media is not that place because it rewards performance. You need a place where you can say, I have no idea what I'm doing, or I'm scared to make this offer. Something like, I know the answer, but I keep avoiding it. That's real. Or I'm successful on paper, but right now I just don't trust myself. And this is exactly why I built Greater University, not another content library full of information that you'll never actually make the time to finish or watch. It's actually a room for founders and entrepreneurs to tell the truth. They identify what's actually blocking them and then take action while they're still in the room. Inside Greater University, we use the Greater framework from my book, From Waiter to Greater, that I've linked in the description. It's on Amazon. Go grab it if you like. But I'll give you quickly the 7 steps and principles that we use. So the G is grounded in your story, and that's so you don't reinvent yourself. The R is for reframing limiting beliefs, and that's so you don't limit yourself. The E is embrace continuous learning so that you don't stagnate. The A is for action-oriented goals, so you actually fall in love with doing the thing, not the goals. And then T is for transitioning with purpose, and that's so you don't go chasing shiny objects, as we all have been doing lately. And then E, the other E, is for empowering your network, so you take people with you as you grow. And then finally, the R, resilience in the face of setbacks. And this is so you don't give up when it gets hard, because the first thing that's going to come after you make a decision to be intentional is disruption. Disruption always follows intention. But this framework isn't the product. It's just a set of principles that we follow to help you get the results you've actually been looking for. The transformation really happens when you apply it to the real decisions sitting in front of you right now. So here's your 24-hour challenge. Before you watch another video, Answer these 3 questions. What decision have I been avoiding? What would I choose before asking anyone else? And what action will prove that decision within 24 hours? Make sure you actually write these answers down physically and then go complete the action. And just to be clear, I'm not saying that one small action is going to solve every problem in your business, but that action becomes evidence, evidence that you can choose, evidence that you can move, and evidence that you can trust yourself again. And if you're a founder or entrepreneur who's tired of collecting answers while staying stuck, join us in the Greater University on School. I'll link that in the description of this video as well. And inside, you'll get a community that understands the pressure of building. You'll get live conversations that go beneath the surface problem and practical accountability that turns clarity into action. Plus, you get to build with cool people. You really don't need another place to put on a mask and pretend everything is fine. You need a room where you can tell the truth, get clarity, and actually move. So if this video spoke to you and you made it this far, use the link below to join Greater University. It's free to join, and we do weekly calls every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And remember, your next level doesn't need more waiting. It needs more grading. Okay. No, seriously though, it needs evidence that you can trust yourself again, because you already know what to do. You're just not doing it. And if you're still not sure what's been keeping you stuck, then watch the next video on how overthinking disguises itself as strategy. That video is going to help you identify the exact point where preparation stops being useful and starts becoming avoidance. Anyway, I'll see you there. Thanks for tuning in.